All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right. What's going on this morning? June 20th, right? One day after June 19th, aka said as Juneteenth. Here in the good old U.S. and known around the world, right? Which is a day of freedom, a proclamation of freedom, family. We don't take that lightly. Family, welcome in us. A different view, family, who believe in, who love after, who hunger and thirst, search and seek to find that which is a different view. Family, welcome in. Number one, family, I want to thank y'all for your support. It's been some time since your boy has been off of TikTok, social media, all that kind of stuff. Again, we have talked about it in pieces. How, we've been dealing with our health and stuff like that, getting things regulated. All we can say is that your boy is alive and well and healthy, right? Praise be unto the Most High. And we're going to keep bopping along, doing what we got to do and getting our weight down and doing what's necessary to live in health, family, right? We stand on that mountain. We're going to live and die on that mountain, brothers and sisters, that hill, as they say, right? Speaking about truth and life and godliness, we hope that yesterday was a time of healing for folks. We're just going to hop right on in. Again, as you see the topic that we put there on the screen, it's been a minute just trying to get back to talking about this kind of stuff here, but we on right now, right? We're live in the living color. We're going to talk about something here from the TikTok family, right, that we will repost of course it'll go on YouTube. It'll also go on Spotify, right? Again, this is a good spot to say where you can get this thing before I get going and forget. The podcast clearly here on, there's some that you'll see notated if TikTok allows it. Sometimes they're weird with it. It's at KJ's Clock. That's where you can find some of these podcast things and posts and such. And we thank y'all for your love and support. We really do. The thing does not work without people, right? Everybody's sitting here doing and saying all kinds of stuff. It does not work without people. Okay. That go for on your job, that goes in the healthcare department, that goes in the financial district. It doesn't matter where. It does not work without the people, right? That's just a fact. Yeah, you can have the bosses provide the businesses, but it does not work without the people, right? And again, family, welcome in. The other side of this is that you can also find the podcast on YouTube at a different view 80. And we have seen the uptick in viewers. Again, family, we thank you for your support, right? Share these messages, right? Lessons, messages, however you want to look at it. That's how I like saying them, because I think they're more teaching than they are, even though sometimes I can get excited on certain things. We may get a little excited today because, again, the topic, Juneteenth and Father's Day, is important, family, to talk about these things, family. And, when you talk about Juneteenth and slavery, man, the man, aka Massa, right? We're allowed to say that one on TikTok. I know they've had problems with certain reposts that I've done. But again, when you got videos using the N-word, I'm pretty sure that I could say certain things a certain way, but we'll leave it alone. At the end of the day, family, there's nothing more important than talking about both topics. In a world that we live in, and again, I'm Christian, but we're not the kind here that's not okay with helping feeding the poor instead of having people have to be a member in your church house in order to feed them. That's wrong. Okay. Another place that you can find a podcast is Spotify, Pandora, and Apple, all at a different view. The artist name is KJ, just like you see in the tagline here, KJ's Clock, right? So it's just KJ, not KJ's Clock. So again, Apple, Pandora, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok. That's where we're at right now. And as we find other places to put the podcast where it'll be received, that's where we'll go. Let's do a couple of videos here because, again, we want to nail home this kind of thing. We'll talk about a few off-topic topics here just to add some brevity to this thing. And then we'll all go about our day. Let's get it in.
Wealth in Oklahoma. Then they made sure we could never do it again. Boley, Oklahoma, 1903. Freedmen bought land on Creek Nation territory, built their own town from nothing. 2 years later, they opened the Farmers and Merchants.
I just want to say this for those. Hopefully, y'all can hear this. It is coming in a little bit low, but hopefully, y'all can hear this. So let's keep it rolling.
Bank. Black owned, black run, black money staying in black hands. By 1911, Boley had 4,000 people, 80 businesses, 2 banks, 3 cotton gins, 4 hotels, a damn electric plant. Booker T. Washington called it the most enterprising black town in America. White America watched, and they couldn't let it stand. First, the railroads rerouted. Boley got cut off. No accident. Economic strangulation by design. Then white banks in surrounding towns refused loans to black farmers. Crops died. Businesses closed. Oklahoma became a state in 1907. Jim Crow laws locked in. Segregation became official policy. The pressure never stopped. By the Great Depression, the Farmers and Merchants Bank was gone. Boley's population collapsed. 4,000 down to 700. And here's what makes me angry. They erased it from history. Most Americans have no idea Boley existed. It's not in textbooks. Oklahoma schools barely mention it. Because if you knew black people built entire self-sufficient economies, you'd ask the real question. What happened to all of it? Who took it? And why did they let it?
Again, family, y'all, welcome in. We're just playing a deal here, talking about Boley, Oklahoma. Again, the title of this thing is Juneteenth and Father's Day. It's twofold, right? And thankfully, this weekend is like this. You know, it's a party. See, freedom's a party, and regardless of which culture you come from, how is it said? Like a strike on justice. I'm paraphrasing, but a strike on justice in one place is a strike on justice everywhere. Yeah. So freedom in one place. The inverse is also true, right? Freedom in one place is freedom everywhere. Just saying what it is, right? So let me just finish this out, and we're gonna get into the next one here, because again, both of these topics that we're gonna talk about deal in some high level foolery, tomfoolery. Okay, foolishness is not dealing in your mindset when we not dealing in your intelligence level, family. When we speak on it in this podcast, again, when you look at the definition of fool also means to trick and deceive as a verb. That's what we mean when we say folks are dealing in foolishness, or when we say they're fools. We are not dissing people's intelligence, because everyone's got different intelligence levels. So there's no reason to do that, right? We'll leave that up to Massa to do. Over here, we're going to talk about, though, trickery. As some of our brothers and sisters say in the Nation of Islam, tricknology, right? Tricks, lies, and deceit. That's what they deal in. So again, this is the kind of mess that happened in Boley, Oklahoma. Not the only place. When you talk on Oklahoma, brothers and sisters, it's not just some pot handle looking squared state in the middle of nowhere. That's kind of what Massa has downgraded it and dissolved it to, you know, kind of empire from Star Wars type of thing, just made it wasteland like Mandalore. Now it's the kind of thing, family, back in the day where it was booming for black folks. On the books, historically, one of the black hubs, right? This is where you went. Now we look at Atlanta like that. It was Oklahoma back in the day. Tons of towns. And Boley was one of the highest points of them. So when we talk about Tulsa, right, it's all right to talk about Tulsa, and it's necessary to, of the horror which Massa did, and the stubbornness of the heart to not put it back in its right standing, right? You go and you look down at the Greenwood District. We spoke on this last year, how me and the missus, shout out to you, honey, one time. You know, talking about the struggles in the mind of a black man, you know, of which I am. You know, it's hard for me to connect to stuff like that. I don't want to see that kind of death personally, right? But she encouraged me to go. Sometimes, don't you know, your partner in life need to encourage you to go. Again, we say partner in life. We're speaking on Father's Day, brothers and sisters, get away from this. I understand this come from Christian circles too. And it's not just Christian circles. This is also in other beliefs of the world. If you start doing you the head of the household, you're going to have a problem, brothers and sisters. That's your partner. Hey, don't get mad at your brother here. We're just saying what the name of the game is. We've been operating under this head of the household thing for a little too long. She is your partner in life. right? And again, we're also in Pride Month for those who we don't shy away from nothing over here, family, right? Shout out our homosexual and transgender brothers and sisters one time. At the end of the day, we have to start showing more compassion toward each other, more understanding toward each other. Even if you don't understand it, that's what they call respect. This is the problem that massa, and again, you know, when we talk about YT folks, brothers and sisters, again, we got to speak a certain way on TikTok because they like controlling language. That's just what it is. At the end of the day, no, family, when you're talking on that, it's a lack of respect. From the hair to your braids, right, to your locks, whatever it is, it's a lack of respect. That's why they can come out, call you out on your name. It's the same thing happens with men with women. It's a lack of respect. But the last time I checked, in order to be a father, you need a mother, right? No, don't go there in your mind. Let the defenses down in order to receive, family. We all have to do that, me included. In order to be a father, you need a mother. Okay. This includes with a baby mama culture out there that we think we're going to be successful in, which we have not. Still to this day, we have not. You get you somebody that love you and see all of you, brothers and sisters. I don't care. Interracially, interracially, it don't matter. See all of you. You know, the cool part about the interracial cultures, or again, like I like to say intercultural, because there's no such thing as race. That's a social construct made up. Racism, where you get race from, is a social construct made by massa to acquire. We done already heard Dr. Claude Anderson tell us this. Shout out your brother one time. And all his videos still up online. Y'all can find out the information. I'm not shooting out off the cuff here. At the end of the day, see, again, when we have our Juneteenth prayer services, right? And shout out those that do it. We need to have more of that cross culturally, especially of course in the black community and cross belief wise, right? At the end of the day, and a beautiful thing to see. If you want to see me as a person, you're going to have to open up your eyes, not just spiritually, but physically, and look at me, combine both. See, we're the kind of people who are okay doing one or the other, but life is a multitude of things. The grass is growing where the bushes is, and the buildings are where the grass and the bushes and the trees are, and the dogs and the cats, you know, maybe this is a song, right? But the dogs and the cats all live out in, I mean, you can see stray cats as you see stray dogs. Right? They may be on different places, right? The cats might be in the same area, lest there a battle ensue. And again, we have read your historical documents where explorers coming here have talked about the natural boundary between Texas and Mexico. Shout out the World Cup one time. And we have watched, you know, we watch Alex Lalas. I think I forgot how you say his name. Alex Lalas, I think, you know, dude with the long hair with the like pirate looking like kind of facial goatee or whatever, talking his stuff to Abramovich and Thierry Henry. You know, there's such a cockiness, unfortunately, about the European. See, again, we say it's the U.S. is Europe 2.0 over here. That's how we say it, right? When we say America, you're talking about a word that European explorers or whoever put on the lands the natives were already living here. That's what America is, because that's not what the natives call these lands, right? Again, that's another thing on the books. Oh, well, see, again, people normally sit in the seat of the scornful. Scorning means to joke and make fun of. So right about the time you start bringing the truth to things, this is where people get a little like, oh, it's not that serious. And maybe we all go back to talking like old words, KJ. Oh. Family, come off that, right? And again, we didn't forget about the video here. And, there's a good point to interject this. Talking about the Knicks and the Spurs, right? We're a Chicago's Bulls fan over here. So there's very little love for the Knicks, but yet we believe in giving credit to where it's due. So shout out the New York Knicks, your 2026 NBA champions one time. Talking about sitting in the seat of the scornful. This is the whole conversation with Wimby. Excuse me. Let me put respect on the brother's name, say it correctly. Victor Wembanyama, right? and the New York Knicks and shaking hands. Matter of fact, we seen this in softball, right? Between the Texas Tech Red Raiders and the Florida girls, right? Where you just can't, you can't shake hands, man. There's something wrong. And again, family, welcome in. There is something wrong where sportsmanship goes one of two ways. You have poor sportsmanship or you have good sportsmanship, right? And what happens is that we try to excuse. Again, there are many defenses in the mind, and we try to excuse the poor sportsmanship. So, kind of like catchers getting run over at the plate. Well, this is baseball, KJ, and we meant, again, this masculine thing. I don't know where that mess came from, man. You trying to hurt people out here playing a game. I said it. We trying to hurt people out here playing a game, brothers. But they get paid a lot of money. What does that mean? See, and again, it's just two mindsets. That's all what it is. It's just two mindsets, brothers and sisters. You got to be careful. I do not like on the basketball court. I refuse to play with these hyper. You can have a competitive, masculine, a good, sweaty, nasty, masculine game of basketball without hurting each other, without down talking each other. I mean, disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? We ain't nobody got time for that. That's clownish when we start talking like that. It can happen on the softball field. It can happen on the basketball, the baseball field, all that. Come on. But you know what? You sip down my syrup long enough. Don't you know the person you playing, your opponent really don't even mean nothing. There's only one part in life where that mess should even show up. And it's in this misogynistic, racial type of bigoted world that we live in. That's the only place where you should see where people don't mean nothing. This is the same thing I said. This is the same thought process I hold in business. Same one. You can either look at a person as just a dollar or you look at that person as a person. And that's why we have the problems we have in society. Real simple, family. And again, coming back to this thing with the Knicks and the Spurs, with clearly the refs not calling flagrant foul. Well, what are we trying to do? See, we've seen it with LeBron James. And again, we've seen it, rest in peace to Kobe Bryant, where the league tries to pick the next new Michael Jordan. Right? There is only one, by the way. And at the end of the day, like, we stop calling fouls and it's just, and he's okay pushing down Jalen Brunson, who is the MVP. He was definitely the MVP of this series. He was definitely the starter for the Knicks the whole season. Okay. Hey, we're saying what it is. Right. It's time to show a little bit more. It's time to show some credit where it's due, family. All right, let's get back in this thing. I've been talking long enough. Let's finish off these videos and go on.
It happened. Bully still exists today. About 100 people fighting to preserve what's left. But the wealth, the banks, the generational power, gone. Comment boldly if this is the first time you're hearing about it. Follow if you're done with the sanitized version of history, and tag someone who still thinks we just didn't work hard enough.
All right, so, that's that video there as it concerns Boley, Oklahoma, brothers and sisters, right? That's just what it is, right? Again, Langston is also another one. There's a bunch on the books here where the man is just, horrible. There's a video here that we're going to talk about Father's Day, right? And again, we're not going to play the original one. Y'all can find it on TikTok, right? Let me see this brother's name here. Tyler, I want to say his name, Tyler Brodsky, right? Okay. Shout out to you, bro. Real big shout out to you, bro. There are some people, for folks who do this men-woman thing, because this is where this is going to go, right? This deals with SA. This deals with a lot of this stuff here, whatever's in the mind, a man's got to be a man and a woman's got to be a woman, all this kind of weird stuff that's in the mind here, family. Again, righteousness and unrighteousness, specifically when you talk about your transgender brothers and sisters, right? This kind of idea where, I don't want them going in the bathroom with my because this is where this video goes, right? And we're going to play a little excerpt of it. We ain't gonna go hard with it. But this man goes into the bathroom, right? The women's bathroom with his little girls, right? He didn't do it the other way around. Okay. He went into the women's bathroom. He checked to make sure it was clear first before he went in. He just didn't go in with a bunch of women, they drawers down, right? Okay, come on. We TikTok likes to do some things here that's a little weird, but plain language is what I like to deal in. Okay. At the end of the day, family, this man is not in there trying to do the peep show. Okay. He's in there trying to take care of his little girls. And of course, we have a video here where it's an old man, by the way. Oh, but his wife had like illnesses and she had to go to. Again, all that was, family, in that video that you see on TikTok is people who don't like to wait their turn. Okay. This is what it is. Matter of fact, they could have had a gentleman's agreement. This woman could have went over here. This man is taking care of the girls. I could watch her and here. You handle your business, right? You handle your business, man. What happened to people who cannot handle their business? Had a similar situation with me and the missus, right? And I don't think she'll get too mad about me talking about this one. If she does, we'll find out. Got to use the restroom, okay? The place where we're at, they're cleaning restrooms. The one that's open, no men in there. It's the men's restroom. She got to go. How many sisters can stand up and testify in the comments, right? And when we're talking about whether it's here on TikTok now as I'm doing this live or when we repost it, how many women can stand up? This brother's already had a bunch of people to come back to him and testify. How many can testify, to say to the fact that, yeah, they sit, they act foolish with me too. Women got to use the bathroom. Let them use the brothers. Are you trying to hurt the women or are you not? Huh? You got places where there's co-ed stuff all over the place. I'm talking about co-ed bathrooms. Oh, well, this is America. This is what people, or maybe, sorry, I'm using the wrong accent. This is America. Yeah, no, what does that mean? It's a landmass on water and land, right? That's attached to other places on the planet. So what you mean to say is we don't want to do none of that, what they doing over there. See, again, this is why we like the world. Shout out the World Cup one time. And it's apropos all these nations are playing right here in the good old U.S., right? In the Americas. See, again, a lot of people like doing this Western belief and all this kind of stuff, especially speaking on Christianity, Western Christianity. Let's break that down. OK, since deconstruction is a thing lately, let's continue that. Let's continue in that thought. Right. And truly of righteousness. Break down. Right. Is a thing that's all over the Bible, by the way. At the end of the day, right, you're supposed to tear down imaginations that go against the knowledge of Christ. Yeah. Or the knowledge of God. Yeah. So we're going to do that right now. OK, number one, men need to come off it when certain situations like this happen with men being fathers to their daughters. You protecting your daughters. You're not taking them into the men's bathroom. Men are foolish. Again, we're not knocking intelligence. We're talking about the mind, trickery, people operating in foolishness. So he took him to the girls' bathroom. There was no girls in the girls' bathroom when it happened. Shout out to the Quick Trip store manager. He gonna name her by name, but again, shout out to the Quick Trip store manager who stepped in for the foolishness. Massa like playing around with righteousness. They got to keep up foolishness. It's the same thing again, going now into the Juneteenth thought process. You get enough black folks together, whether it be at a park, whether it be at the pool, wherever it might be. And we're talking historically on the books, including whatever you might see during your day. Get enough of us together and you're going to have Massa and Massa in the gang, right? They got Cool in the gang. You're going to have Massa in the gang come around. They got a song band history long since we want to do this 250 years mess we about to do. At the end of the day, family, for 250 years, at least on the books, they've been okay harassing black folks. And they do it good. They do it good. They burn down towns. They build highways through. They do it good. So this man is talking to this. Now, he looked like he's kind of YT, but to be honest with you, I don't think he is. Right. I understand his name is Tyler Brodsky. He don't look full. He don't look full YT. There's something else there. That's me personally. OK. At the end of the day, he is taking care of his daughters. Let him handle his business. Then you go about your business. Grown men can't do it. Can't do it. And we excuse it. We excuse it. So let the man go about it. You ain't got to call the cops. What are you calling the police for? Don't you know the police got a whole lot of other mess to deal with? They got a lot of other mess that we do to ourselves that they got to mess with. Unfortunately, we call out the foolishness in the police force, as we should anywhere in our neighborhood, including our own family. So there was no reason during the Knicks celebration in California for the police to unalive a little dog, right? Come on now. Hey, what's going on, fam? A little dog now. 2-year-old Labrador. Because a woman want to get hype on the Knicks game? Don't you know, black folks, we don't do nothing quiet. So what, you was mad because the woman was loud over there? And then when the dog come out running, because that's what protectors do. What you do with 10 cops deep, this is something you can find right on TikTok, family. You unalive the dog. What? No, family, that ain't it. That ain't it, right? And again, we're quick to call out this stuff. Okay, talking about people coming together, because that's what Juneteenth is, man. I'm talking Caribbean. I'm talking whether it be in Europe, right? So we know black folks over there, dark brown, tan skin tone folks. Australia, right? We understand they just lost to the U.S. 2-0 in the World Cup. But hey, listen, we know about the minority people. We talk again, dark brown and tan skin. That's the power of watching the end of Moana 2, brothers and sisters. Come together. This is the time to come together. We talked about that whole thing with Juneteenth and prayer and all that, man. Pray to let go of the hate. The way we say it on this podcast is do not operate in the poison by which we were poisoned with one more day. Let it go. When it comes to masculine and feminine, again, you can, fathers and mothers, you stop fighting. There's no need. That's some mess massa put there to tear down families. Both are needed. We are just saying what it is. Let's play this clip from this father here talking, and we'll go on about our day.
Everybody for the support that y'all have been sending my way to my girls.
Again, if the video is low, my apologies, y'all.
We really do appreciate it. I never expected this to reach millions of people, so it's kind of surreal. A lot of you have been asking what happened after the video, so I am going to be going into that. I do apologize for the wait. Did have a long drive from Florida to Oklahoma, so I got home around 12 o'clock last night, and I was beat. And of course, my girls needed to be fed. I had to spend some time with them, get settled in. I only get them for 45 days in the summer, so I try to spend as much time with them as I can. So after we left the restroom, obviously he was on the phone with the police. They ended up showing up very quickly. About 3 officers showed up. They got there within 5 minutes tops, and very professional, very nice. Quickly de-escalated the situation. One of the officers was talking to me and the man, and
if I could pause this just to interject this real quick, the no nuts of the older man, but you see, in the mind of the elder is where I like to question. We understand that they go to the youth and what the youth doing and what the youth doing. Meanwhile, youth is always inside of you, right? And for some odd reason, we have no problem going there now, family. If we're supposed to teach, let's talk about Father's Day now, right? Specifically me being Christian, talk to him by the wayside, talk to him during the morning, talk to him during the midday, talk to him in the evening. This is the kind of idea that's brought out in the script. We like saying script because you're saying scripture. The base of the word scripture is script. It's a script, family, right? William Shakespeare let you know all the world's a stage. This is a script. Okay. Look. We can get into all that with choice and all that kind of stuff. Listen, this is what it is. OK, we need to excel more at what it is and trying to figure out what it ain't. At the end of the day, family, listen, let fathers be fathers over there. This an old man. Ain't that back in my day? So if that's what's supposed to go on where you show protection over your wife, again, we talked about it. The man wouldn't allow access for my wife to use the bathroom in the men's bathroom because it's the man's bathroom. She ain't trying to go in there and get with none of the men, is she? No, she got to go to the bathroom. See, unfortunately, what we have allowed to root in ourselves is some very dangerous thought processes. That's just what it is, right? Now, for me personally, I'm standing there and we give a little jaw back, family. We don't, we don't lay down for nobody. We give a little jaw back, right? And of course, my wife is just as fiery. So this is more like hold her back kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, Again, because he trying to make the same scene, call the cops, all that. Listen, you ain't gonna have massa put me in a box. That's not gonna work. We doing this the other way around. We're here to stand on 2 feet to fight back against them. And we know the weapons. This is what they tell you in this script. The weapons of our warfare. So, or battle, right? Because again, war means confusion. So we're not operating in confusion over here. When you look at the etymology of the word war, it means to confuse or to mix up. I'm not mixed up over here. We know men have a problem when it comes to women. Compassion at. Where's that at? You clean in the other bathrooms, let it go. But it's cool. We know how the man operates. So see, to be forewarned is to be forearmed. We're done arguing with him. You understand? We're done arguing with him. This is where now we galvanize together. We come together in compassion. I don't care where they come from. It doesn't matter what part of the world. So that's the beauty when you go over to the Caribbean, right? I was talking with my family a couple of days ago, right? You go over to Jamaica, they love you there. They love you there. You over here, you don't really see that over here. It's eyes and staring and glare for what? For what? We're one. I know the man worked a good game with that Willie Lynch letter. I know Walter Pleckert, Presbyterian Pleckert. Again, presbyter means elder, family. What is in the mind of the elder? How are you going to lead the youth with that much division in your mind, that much hate in your mind? You hear it in the words. Words convey thought, family. Again, out of the mouth, confession is made. The life and death is in the power of the tongue and those that love it. So the fact of script can tell you that those that love it. So there's some that love life and there's some that love death. Yeah, family. No, we make distinctions over here. That enmity, go back into Genesis and you look at the enmity, right? If your brother can just go off on this for a second, then we're going to go on about our day. Because basically what this is, what you see is just his response to this. We're just going to talk about this and we're going to go on about our day. We're going to have another one. Remember the word Sankofa. I don't know if I'm saying it in my best Ghanese or Gahanan, right? And my apologies. But for my Gahanan brothers and sisters, the word Sankofa comes, which means basically go back, right? Go back and get it, right? To move forward. The symbol is like a goose or a bird that is kind of reaching back its leg, because they got long necks, them geese, the ones that come fly down and attack you when you're messing with them. Give respect to nature, family. We're just saying, we get into this part of the season, especially in my hometown is New York. And ain't nothing but beaches and stuff out there. And we start going ham with the shark thing. You swimming in their waters. So you better be careful. It ain't the shark's fault that you swimming in their waters. See, again, a lot of this kind of belligerent, just dominant massa-like stuff, show respect. That's the beauty of some folks in the Caribbean. If I could say this one time, especially our Rastafarian brothers and sisters, the idea of the respect and love. We don't own nothing, family. We're sharing this. A real steward don't own nothing. You watch The Lord of the Rings and you watch the Steward of Gondor and how he's so up on himself. And that's why his death was the way it was. Look, we don't wish death on no one, family. That is to be upright. But at the end of the day, you're going to mess around with fire. What do you think happens? Sankofa means to go back and get it. And we're only going to be on here for a little bit longer. So we're going to, I know a lot of y'all want to hop on, but we're only doing this for a little bit and then we're going to go on. We will do that down the road, family. So, we thank y'all for for wanting to hop on. To go back, get it and move forward. We're not looking in the past just to look in the past. We're looking in the past to get the information necessary. Family, all I can encourage y'all to do is keep studying history. You look back and you find out the amount of mass graves that's all over this nation. Innocent blood, native, Negro, Mexican, native family. People here already. Talk about the Gullah Geechee people. People here already. Christopher Columbus come calling, talking about go get 50 folks and I can get it. I can take it over. And you wasn't coming over here for fun then, were you? You weren't coming over here for exploration, were you? This is the power of Juneteenth, family. Freedom. This is the responsibility of fatherhood, brothers, to bring wholeness back to the family. You can do it. My, oh my, man. You can let go of that street Negro, hood Negro, weird kind of stuff we're doing. We can do it. It's not weird, right? Huey Lewis in the news. I know. For black folks, it's hard to listen to rock and roll, although we had something to do with it, by the way. At the end of just putting that out there, right? Shout out Lizzo one time. In the song Rumor, she said it straight out. Black folks helped make rock and roll. Matter of fact, she said they made rock and roll. And again, all you got to do is go back. Shout out Sister Rosetta Tharpe one time. You can be in the church house and rock out for Jesus, but I digress. At the end of the day, family, listen, go back, get the information. Know how they messed around in Oklahoma and in Georgia and in the Carolinas and in Florida and in New York and in California and in Texas. Don't you know there is a Mexican unaliving tree by rope that is still there, Goliad, Texas. There's another way to say it, but again, on TikTok, it's hard to say it, right? They get mad at you when you use real language. Our hearts go out to our Mexican brothers and sisters. We're not enemies. But Massa put that division there. Again, enmity between the serpent and the woman. Yeah, I know we do the Adam and Eve thing and all that. Again, look closer, family. Enmity. The division is there because by nature, they will continue to strike out at you, but you will defend yourself by crushing them. Now, this is not doing that maliciously. We have to watch going there, family. Our Caribbean brothers and sisters just don't strike out at folks just for the heck of it. When you look at the Christmas Rebellion, right? When you look at the Haitian Revolution, when you look at these things, that's not just them doing that for just because. Come on. The man came over there messing around, letting people not live in peace. What do you think you're going to do? We're just asking questions. They try to remove history, brothers and sisters. What do you think you're going to do? What will you do? They regulate the woman's health care. That don't mean you ain't supposed to show sexual responsibility, schmexual responsibility. We're just saying, what are you going to do? Next time around, we're gonna there's a TikTok post which we want to give a big shout out to the family on, right? Some over 400,000 views, and again, your brother is not shy on talking about life, family, because again, it means something. In a state like Oklahoma, where you vote down getting more money because of what for the job? What jobs? You mean the ones that Massa can regulate by which how much you get paid on? As the hard work you putting in for them to make billions of dollars every year. You're not going to support your see when people start talking about their best interest, I tune out a little bit because, you know, we live in a world where we're okay buying more than we save. This is for me like anybody, right? Eating weird food, you know, talking about the Caribbean and the World Cup and all that. We need to go back to old mama's ways of doing things. This is, again, for me like anybody. It's helpful. Maybe the medicine men, witch doctors, and all this mess we keep talking about, maybe that's more helpful than what it is. And we don't need medicine because they're already there in our neighborhoods, giving us knowledge. There's a TikTok post here that we put up, right? And I'm a Star Wars fan, so we go with it, right? And then this came off, I've reshared it off of Facebook, right? Off a friend of mine on Facebook. He's, you know, he liked to stay in the president's, he liked to stay in that president's ass, man. Right. He's kicking his ass daily. How, and y'all can find it on my profile, right? Again, it's 400,000 plus deep. So again, thank your family for your support. All kinds of comments, right? All types of likes, all of that. It's cool. But again, we're spreading knowledge. How Republicans see Trump. So this is where we're going to leave it with y'all, right? And he's the rebellion, right? He's the one against the evil empire, right? So you got Luke, Leia, and Han Solo there from Star Wars, the fourth episode. They staring there how they going to get out of the Death Star and all this kind of stuff, right? That's how Republicans see Trump. How the Democrats see Trump, right? And it's the image in Return of the Jedi where you have all of the battalion of the stormtroopers there, the Emperor is there, the Emperor's Royal Guard is there. You know, they see him as the Empire, right? And we don't deny none of that. See, again, the Empire, right? While there was something that happened online where there was a house torment. See, when you talk about terrorists, right? They like to say it's about our Mexican brothers and sisters that they're the drug dealer and they're the sexual abuser. They're the terrorist, right? Same thing that's going on with our Iranian brothers and sisters, man. Shout out the East one time. That they're the terrorist and this, that, and the other. And this ain't taken away from rogue folks like what happened September 11, 2001, right? We're not taking away from that. We understand there's rogue folks all over the place, and we could get on one group. We could get on one group right now, but we won't because, again, there's too much protection that's being used misplaced, by the way. But I digress. And again, all over the script, there is a warning for this one nation that is always there because they're God's people. But I will leave it alone, right? At the end of the day, family, look, we have to start showing more love to each other. The end of the TikTok post said how it really is. And it's Spaceballs, family. How many people remember Spaceballs, right? We know some disrespectful stuff, right? Two brothers combing the desert looking for droids. We ain't found ish. At the end of the day, right? And that's Mel Brooks and, you know, all that kind of stuff between comedy, whatnot. We probably could get on the Kevin Hart roast, but I'm going to leave it alone for another day. Understand, brothers and sisters, this simple fact. That it's that the end of that post is just Spaceballs and a bunch of clowns, brothers and sisters. When you're talking about government, it's a bunch of clowns. Which side love you? Which one love you? One side is using those who steal wealth from others to keep another down, and they're okay calling folks from a bathroom while fathers are trying to take care of their daughters going to the bathroom. And going after, you know, like New York City cops mistakenly going after some black man, dragging him through the liquor store and broken glass and everything. We ain't even checking. And again, I could get into own personal stories about myself, but we're going to leave it alone because it's not necessary. Mistaken identity happen all over the place. Maybe we should check first before we do stuff, right? Maybe before we burn down Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Greenwood district there. Maybe we want to check first. Maybe somebody didn't touch a white T woman, but I digress. This is the time, brothers and sisters, now to come together. Stop going to them. We watched that thing on The View here with JD Vance and all that. Stop going to Massa to try to get validation. They ain't gonna give it to you. That's the point. Why would they give it to you? That's not what they do. They take it from you, right? That's what we're gonna leave it for today. Thank you, family, for your support. I love y'all. God bless y'all. Thank you for your support, man. Again, we do this thing. It's cool to have algorithms and all this type of thing. Word of mouth, man. Too many verses in the Bible. Jesus go do stuff on the countryside. These people go see it. They go back and tell. You see it over and over and over. He ain't need no algorithm. And his fame was made abroad, right? We ain't comparing ourselves to Christ, but if you're a Christian, you follow therein, then maybe that's how it's supposed to go down. And that goes for any other belief that's out there, right? It's time to spread the works of love, godliness, honesty, and peace once again. Thank you, family. Thank you. God bless you. I love y'all. We will repost this live, hopefully, Lord willing, on TikTok, on YouTube, and on Spotify. So y'all look out for it. It'll also be on Pandora and Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. Again, a different view. And until next time, and as always, look to find the beauty in a different view.